So at this point, some of you will be thinking, yes, but SQL is already using most of the available memory in the machine. How can you possibly create a RAM cache? And it's true that if SQL is left untapped, there typically wouldn't be enough RAM for Condusiv software to create a cache with. We've intentionally designed our software so that it can't compete for system resources with anything else that you have running in the machine, basically so that we can never be the cause of a memory starvation situation. Our software would only use some of the free RAM that isn't being used by anything else, and it will dynamically size the cache, handing RAM back to Windows if other processes or applications need it. So, for best results with SQL, you can easily cap the amount of RAM that SQL takes for its own form of caching or buffering. On busy database servers, if you can leave 16 gigabytes of RAM free, you'd have a velocity cache size that would be enough to really make that machine's performance fly in most cases. And if you can't spare 16 gig, leave 8 gig. And if you can't afford 8 gig, leave 4 gigabytes free. Even that is enough to make a difference. If you go much smaller than that, though, then the cache size would really be a bit too small, and any performance improvements that you'd get would be somewhat limited. Now, you might also be thinking that SQL's buffering is good enough, so how does Velocity's caching complement this? And at a basic level, SQL's cache does do a pretty good job. And whilst that does, of course, have a positive impact on performance, Velocity's RAM caching is designed to eliminate the type of storage I/O traffic that tends to slow down the storage the most. And whilst that tends to be the smaller, more random read I/O traffic, that's not always the case. So Velocity uses a very lightweight storage filter driver to gather telemetry, and this allows the software to learn useful things like, what is the main application in use on a machine? This doesn't just work with SQL servers. If you've got something running MySQL or MariaDB or Oracle on Windows, pretty much any type of Windows-based database, we can usually make a difference. But it's not just limited to databases. I mentioned file servers. If you've got business information systems, ERP systems, document management systems, our software can have a very positive impact, especially where you have multiple machines sharing that same storage. So it'll figure out what is the main application that's being used on each machine, what type of files are being accessed, and what type of storage I/O streams are being generated, and at what times of the day, the week, the month, the quarter. So it can be very intelligent about what the hot blocks of data are that need to be in the RAM cache, and more importantly, when. And it can also use that telemetry to figure out how best to size the storage I/O packets to give the main application the best performance. And of course, if the way you use that machine changes over time, Velocity will automatically adapt to those changes without you having to reconfigure or tweak any settings.